Hi everyone and welcome to Outdoors Wednesday. My name is Annie and I work for the Badgerland Girl Scouts, and today we're going to learn how to start a compost bin. First, what is compost? So compost is a type of soil that's filled with a lot of nutrients that make plants grow big and healthy. Compost is made from things like rotting plants and vegetables that are broken down by good bacteria and germs and turned into compost. So it's kind of nature's way of recycling old plants to help grow new ones. So you might be wondering, why should I start a compost bin? First, it's great for our planet. You can throw these items in your garbage to go to the landfill, but they can't decompose properly because of a lack of oxygen. This causes the release of greenhouse gases. These gases contribute to climate change and pollute our groundwater. Composting at home decreases the amount of these gases because these things can decompose properly. The next benefit to this is it produces free fertilizer. Compost provides you with nutrient-rich and chemical-free fertilizer for your gardens. And finally, it teaches you how to reduce waste and care for our planet. Today, we're going to be making a small-scale compost jar for you to see the process. Once you've completed this, you should try and set up a larger bin outside for all of your composting needs. So here are the materials you're going to need for today. First, you're going to need a large jar. I just finished off some pasta sauce, so it's a perfect way to reuse that. If you still have the lid, you're going to want that as well, and you can have an adult help you poke some small holes in the top of the lid. But if you don't have the lid, that's totally fine. You can just use a sheet of plastic wrap and then a rubber band to secure it down. I couldn't find a rubber band, so I'm just going to use a scrunchie. And then the next thing you're going to need are your vegetable scraps. So I have some carrot peels, I had some apple cores, and because we're doing a small scale compost bin, if you are using bigger things like apple cores or banana peels, I recommend just cutting them up into smaller pieces. And then you can also use some stuff like coffee grounds, eggshells, tea bags, anything like that. You're also going to need some dry leaves, and you can find these outside on a nature walk. Some soil, you can just dig up from the ground somewhere. And last, you're just going to need a spray bottle with some water. When choosing your food scraps, it's very important to choose things that will decompose. Choosing things like a banana peel, an apple core, carrot shavings, even if you found some moldy fruit or limp lettuce in your fridge, that will work great. And then also things like coffee grounds, tea bags, eggshells, and it's very important that you don't add things like meat scraps or any vegetables that were cooked in oils like butter. Making compost is kind of like making a layered cake. You want to alternate what you're adding in the jar or in your compost bin to make sure it's all mixed together really well. So the first thing you're going to want to add to your jar is a little bit of soil. So I'm just going to take a small handful. This might be a little messy. I'd recommend doing it outside. All right, so you're going to take some soil, add it to the bottom of your jar. And the next thing that you're going to want to add is your vegetable scraps, your coffee grounds, eggshells, stuff like that. So I'm going to put some carrot peels in mine. Maybe take an eggshell and crush it up. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is add some dry leaves. Shove those in. All right, so this is what mine looks like so far. And you're just going to keep doing it over and over again until your jar is full. All right, so my jar is completely full with all my layers of soil, vegetables, eggshells, coffee grounds, and dry leaves in there. And so the last layer you put on top is going to be soil. So make sure it's all covered with just a good amount of soil on top. Just like that. And then your last step before you cover it off is you're going to want to get it kind of wet on top. And so you can take your spray bottle and just spray enough on the top for the soil to be a little bit damp, but you don't want it to be soaking wet. Perfect. So next we have to put a lid on top of our jar. So if you still have the lid that your jar came with, you can have an adult help you poke some holes in the top. If not, you can just take a piece of plastic wrap, put it over the top, and secure it with a rubber band or a scrunchie or anything you can find. And then you can just take a pen or pencil and just poke a few holes right in the top of the lid. And so it's super important that there are holes in the top of your lid so your compost can get oxygen, which will help it break down. So once your jar is done, you can place it right in a sunny window. And you can continue to mist it as the top of the soil dries out, and your soil will start to condense and get lower and lower. And that's just it shrinking into a nutrient-dense compost. And then in about 8 to 12 weeks, your compost will be ready and you can go and sprinkle into your garden and help grow some new plants. So once you've mastered the compost in a jar, you're ready to start a bigger compost in your backyard. So it's essentially the same process, you just need more of the materials. You can do this in a large garbage bin, or you can create one out of some chicken wire, just like this. And you can add your materials to your bin, and every couple days you want to take a shovel and just kind of mix them up. And this is called aerating, which helps more oxygen get into your compost, helping it decompose faster. You are now ready to go and start your compost. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to use my soil to help grow a big and healthy tomato plant. Thanks for joining me, and happy composting.